Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group.
Hey Jeff, you're
Yes,
you're you're very muffled.
Bill Mumford again. All right, hold on. Is this better? Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Well, we'll use this mic then. All right. Good morning, everybody. It's February 17th, 2023. Welcome to the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group. Today, our agenda will start out with success stories. I know of 2 landings, so we'll hear about that this morning. We will then go to our 30-second introductions. We'll have everybody put their introductions into the chat window. For those people that are with us here in person, we'll let them tell you who they are. We'll then go to our committee reports. We'll hear about workshop, job fairs, the practice interview team, and then the career tip of the week. And then we will have our main event right about the top of the hour. We'll hear all about Crystal Knows. All right, for those people on Zoom, if you have any questions throughout the presentation, please just enter those questions into the comment field. And we'll be sure to get those questions answered for you as Patty takes a break, or if you have any questions that way, we'll be able to get that to everybody. Let me move this over here. There's nobody on Facebook today because some reason Zoom and Facebook don't want to communicate with each other. Please note this event has been recorded and is not live on Facebook, but the recording will be on the Career DFW Facebook page and the Career USA YouTube channel for others to view in the future. By participating in this event, you give consent for your name and picture to appear. Please note that any comments you put in the Zoom chat window will not appear in the recording. Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Jeff Morris. Since 2007, I've been facilitating and leading the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group. The group's been around since the late 1990s. I took it over in 2007 when the prior leader got a job and said, who wanted to take over? And I must have done something to set myself out to be seen. In 2008, I started a website called careerdfw.org, a website to help those unemployed in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. In 2012, I launched the second website, careerusa.org, to help those around the United States. I have written a book called What I've Learned About Your Job Search That You May Not Know. It is available on Amazon. And since 2017, I've been a member of the practice interview team. You'll hear more about that in just a moment. Well, we like to start the meeting off with good news. I said we've got 2 landings that I'm aware of. So Patty, we'll let you tell us first about your good news.
Well, thank you very much, Jeff. So yes, I accepted an offer yesterday. I had a verbal offer on Wednesday. I had my first and only interview with the VP and COO of the company last Friday. And so I got this job through somebody in my network. They actually were looking to try to get her into the company. She said, you know what, I'm not ready at this time, but I do know others who would be a good fit for this. And so I was recommended to interview with them. And yeah, and it's a small company, and I would highly recommend looking at the smaller companies as well, because then you don't have 7 rounds of interviews. I had 1 round and I got the job. So I will say I knew their personalities before I went into the interview because I used Crystal Knows. So I was able to gear my interview style to theirs and was able to be successful, and I landed. So I start on March 1st.
All right. Well, congratulations. And Patty will be our presenter a little bit later here this morning. So I'm glad we got her before she started, So how long were you out of work for?
My last day of work at my previous company was February 1st.
Okay. So just a month. Okay. Oh, so what is the job? What are you going to be doing?
So I'm going to be account management consultant for Fortune 500 companies for this company, and you know, cross-selling and upselling their products to them and providing the strategy.
All right. Well, congratulations. Thank you very, very much. Thank you for being with us and sharing your great news with us this morning.
Thank you.
All right. There was one other landing, and I don't see her on the, I don't think she's on the, I don't see her on the call today. Melissa Harvey landed. She landed at GDS Group. She's a global marketing leader. I'm not sure exactly what her role is, but I just heard that that's where she landed at. So our first two landings from this group, it's a great way to go. And I mean, there are jobs out there, so continue to get out and network and, connect with people, because that's how you're going to find your next job.
Hey, Jeff, this is David from Atlanta.
Yeah, David.
I landed this week.
Oh, congratulations. Number 3.
Yes. So,
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you. Thank you. And y'all's help was tremendous. Career USA, not only these live sessions on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and even Friday mornings, but also the videos, being able to go back and review them. But I will start this Monday, like 3 days from now, with a company called MAI Animal Health. MAI does not stand for anything. It's a person's initials that founded the company. It's a Dr. Mark Alexander. The company is based in Wisconsin. They make 90% of what we sell. It is in the veterinary market, both large animal and small animal, capital equipment. The two big things I'll cover will be dental equipment and endoscopic instruments. So I will cover a rather large swath of dirt that includes all of these states: Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, and Northern Florida. So I'll be on the road quite a bit, but very thankful for this group. And one of the things that I learned from this group is to think outside the box. And that helped me, because I took a flyer, so to speak, and went to Orlando, Florida in January to a national convention, and was able to walk the floor and meet the various companies. And this was one of the companies that I met down there because I was able to do that. So thanks again, Jeff. And I really appreciate all that you and Walt and everybody does.
Well, David, that's great. So what's your official title going to be?
I will be Southeastern Regional Manager, and I will sell our products through distribution to the veterinarian space. So large distributors like Covetrus, Patterson, Midwest Veterinarian, all of those people will carry our products, and we sell through them.
Well, congratulations. And
Thank you.
I'll miss seeing your face every day of the week when we do these. You're on there every day. And
well, it was 14 months from the time I, left my other industry, and pivoting industries when you're at 60 years of age is a daunting task, but y'all helped me.
so you said, you found this conference, and I highly recommend it. I've heard that other people doing the same thing. You drove down to this conference and you just were a spectator, or do you sign up?
Well, I was able to, through networking, cannot recommend networking enough. A person that I knew from 20 years ago, when we worked together, he was working the conference. And so I became, for that day, Scott. So I had to remember to answer to the name of Scott and not David. So I was Scott St. Germain that day. He was already gone from the conference. And I was able to walk the floor and pick out of the 500 exhibitors. I targeted 10 and ended up having 3 different interviews out of those 10.
Wow. Great.
Yeah.
All right. I like I said, I highly recommend, if there's a national conference doing what you're doing, it may be worth the money to go down there for a couple of days, see who you can network with, see how you can get up, get on the floor, because you're going to find all the companies there and you never know. So David, congratulations. Wow. Crystal, Patty and Melissa, we've got 3 landings today. This is great. Every day should be like this. Anybody else? Going once, going twice? All right, well, that's three. Wonderful. All right, what we'd love everybody to do now is please in the chat window for those people who are on Zoom, please put in your name, comma, phone number, comma, email address, comma, position you're looking for, comma, 2 or 3 target companies, and then hit the return key. For those people that are here in person, we'll let you give your 30-second introductions here in just a second. So if you will, please do this. This allows me we'll get you updated. We'll get you on the roster. If you're using this for a workforce a meeting, this will count. I'll have it on the roster official. And also we will hand out the email this afternoon will go out. We'll have everybody's contact information. And that way you can, be able to contact and help everybody. Look over that contact list, see who's target, somebody else's target, and maybe you can help get them into a company. So let me put 30 seconds on the clock. All righty, let's see here. Well, we've got a couple of people that are here in person, so we're gonna allow them to give their 30-second introductions. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize it was up there. Let's do that. Okay, go ahead. Come on, Geneva.
Hi, this is Geneva Silva. I have 20 years real estate experience. The last 15 have been focused in foreclosures in the default industry. I'm transitioning out of that right now. I've been laid off twice in the last 15 months. So I'm looking to really kind of get out of the real estate industry and honestly not sure what industry I'm looking to get into right now. So I'm just being flexible and open-minded, and coming to the career networking meetings is helping me a lot and giving me the tools that I need. Thank you.
Ben, you want, or Will?
Hi, my name is Will Lewis. I'm a recent graduate with a degree in economics from UTD. I'm here just to start my career search. I don't really know where to start, but I'm looking at the FDIC, JP Morgan Chase, other financial institutions. My name is William Lewis.
Great, thank you very much. And we'll get to meet Walt here in just a second. All righty. All right, if you know somebody who's recently unemployed or somebody who's out looking for a job, please tell them about Career DFW and Career USA, 2 totally free websites. They don't collect any personal information. One of the things you'll find on the Career DFW website is a group of calendars. And there's all sorts of calendars with job fairs, with special workshops that are happening, the networking groups that are meeting in person, webinars that are out there. So there's a lot of really great information that's out there. Please check it out. If you know something that's missing on the calendar or something needs to be updated, please let me know so that I can make sure I'm sharing the most up-to-date information that's out there. All right, let me talk a little bit about the practice interview team. The practice interview team, first of all, it's totally free. So if you want to get an interview, here's a great way to practice interviewing skills. As I've said many times, you've heard me say this many times for those who've heard me before, is that your resume and your LinkedIn profile is not going to get you a job. What it is going to do is going to get you a phone call. How well you practice your interviewing skills, that's going to get you your next job. So the motto of the Dallas Pick Crew is practice early, practice often. To be really good at what you're doing, you probably need to practice 3, 4, maybe even 5 times. You don't have a job that you're currently interviewing for, not a problem. Just find a job description that you're interested in, send in that job description, send in a resume, and let them know this is I'm just practicing my interviewing skills. Send those 2 things in along with your schedule. Give them at least 2 to 3 days, maybe even 4 days out. If you call them up and you go, I've got an interview tomorrow, not going to happen because they can't schedule the interviewers to do this. All the interviewers have been hiring managers. It's usually a panel interview of 2 or 3 people who will do the interviewing. It'll last about 35 to 45 minutes. And then there's 15 to 25 minutes of feedback. You don't get feedback when you go to a real interview. Here, you'll get real feedback. If this is your 3rd or 4th interview at a company, let them know that, because they'll customize the questions for a 3rd or 4th interview. So just let them know. If you want more information, go to dallaspickthrough.com. Just send in your resume, job description, when you're available to dallaspickthrough@gmail.com. If you've been a hiring manager and would like to participate and like to be part of helping other people do interviews, they also are always looking for new panelists. For some reason, the people who volunteer and are panelists, for some reason, they're landing and getting jobs. So they're looking for new people who are panelists to do that. So do that. Also, starting in March, the Dallas Pick Crew is going to start meeting in person on the 1st and 3rd Wednesday of each month. They'll be meeting at Christ United Methodist Church, which is in 3101 Coit Road, Plano, Texas. It's the corner of Parker and Coit. This is the same place as the Friday group that we're meeting for those who are meeting in person here. There will be no online option on the 1st and 3rd Wednesdays. It'll be only in person. We really encourage those people that are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, put on your big boy pants, come out and meet people in person, because you're going to get a lot more out of this by seeing people in person as being online. So the 2nd and 4th Wednesdays, we'll continue to do our online session, and we'll be going through the interview workshop, that the 13-part session that we've got. All right, time to hear about the interview success workshop. Good morning, Walt.
Well, good morning, everyone. And Jeff, can you mention the tradition that we have when we meet on Wednesdays for the pit crew? If you land, what do we do when people announce landings? There's a tradition that we have. Right. Right.
So yes, we would love to. Yes, we haven't had donuts in like 3 years now.
Yes, and when you bring donuts, if you really want to bring the good ones, bring the Krispy Kreme. Okay. I've even got some poems that have Krispy Kreme in them that I haven't been able to use for 2.5 years. So I'll be glad to have you. So hey, man, well, I'm Walt Jackson. I like people with interviewing skills as well. When I was looking around to figure out what I was going to do after my wife passed away, after I had retired, and I remembered that I put a workshop together after I flunked an interview back in 2000. So I said, this is a pretty good thing to do. And I really like the pit crew and what it does, but I also looked at it and said, everybody agrees that we're in a selling situation, but how do we actually sell ourselves? So I came up with a model called We Sell Who We Are, What We Do, and How We Help. Those are the 3 elements. If we do a good job of presenting ourselves onto those 3 elements, we've done all we can do for a successful hiring interview. So how do we do that? Well, the workshop is very informal. You will get an interview. We'll go over the 12 basic categories of questions. We'll discuss strategies, approaches, options, structures, ideas as to how we might answer. It depends on the question, who's asking, and where you are in the process. So there's not just one way to answer a question. There's going to always be options according to those 3 parameters. So how do we sell ourselves doing those things? And so the questions are designed to be one out of each category, and also to show opportunities for selling those 3 items. It also is to help us differentiate ourselves from other candidates. I've heard a lot of candidates in many, many interviews, and a lot of people say the same things over and over again. Now, they're not bad things, they're not wrong things. But from an interviewer's perspective, when you hear this same phrase over and over and over again, it becomes a negative. So how can we stay away from those kind of things? So I'd be glad to share that information with you and participate. Very informal. Look me up on LinkedIn. You can use that QR code or just send me an email to my Yahoo email address. That QR code actually starts an email, and that's what you need to do to register. Only do 1 or 2 people at a time. The investment that you need to make is $0 and 2 hours of your time. And it's my job to make those 2 hours of your time worthwhile as an effort in your job search. Be glad to have you register, have you come on down. It's not a place for a hot seat, not a place where you have to worry about things and have anxiety. We're just putting a learning hat on, learning how to improve our interviewing skills. Is the interview like the ritual satanic? Well, a lot of fear and perhaps panic. No worry, no fear. Practice interviewing is here. It will keep us off the Titanic.
Thank you very much, Walt. All right, we've got our, let me move a few things around here. All right. Time to hear the career tip of the week. You can find a new career tip of the week on the Career DFW or Career USA website. Every Saturday afternoon, a new tip pops up. So good morning, Rosanna. Thank you for reading it for us this week.
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, everybody. All right. Well, this week's career tip of the week is dated February the 12th, and it's 3 key steps to successfully pivoting in your career. All right. Get a little bit bigger so I can see it. All right. And this article is by Cheryl Robinson, who's the contributor. Layoffs throughout corporate America continue to shake up the nation, with more than 105,000 people losing their jobs this year at private startups alone. The job market is competitive, and the entrepreneurial space is booming, and that's creating more competition. If the past couple of years taught us anything, we still need to be adaptable and learn how to pivot. Understanding the key steps to successfully pivoting in your career and then applying them to a strategy will put you ahead of the game or ahead of the crowd. There are 3 core types of pivots: personal, professional, and mindset. An example of a personal transition is when someone gets married, moves to a different state, or goes back to school for a higher degree. Professionally, people experience a change of positions within the same company, change of industries, start their own company, or dreadfully lose their job. Mindset pivots occur more regularly and are critical in leadership and handling life's obstacles. It's being able to communicate differently to get the message across, motivate a team, and keep yourself focused on moving forward rather than dwelling on the past. Although all 3 are critical to survival, when a person loses their job and doesn't have the proper foundation to handle the challenge, it can negatively impact the other 2 areas of pivoting. So when something perceived as negative happens, many people automatically assume the worst. However, taking a step back, viewing the situation from a different perspective, and recognizing that you're in the middle of a pivot will help you reframe the current moment. Top 3 steps to successfully pivot in your career. First, change your narrative. As a society, we define ourselves based on our job titles, so it can be challenging to navigate how to market or rebrand yourself. Many people experience an identity loss, especially if it was a dream job or a company that they've been with for years, and they automatically are associated with that organization. Instead of leading with who you are in the past career life, lead with what you're doing now. Then, if you still are looking for the next opportunity, share what you're working towards. Yes, your past does matter. However, people want to know what you're currently doing. The misconception is that you lead with the past projects. It automatically highlights your skill set and the value that you bring to the table. People's attention spans are limited, so focusing too long on the past might cause you to miss out on the next position because the person lost interest before you could showcase how you can bring something unique to the table. Next, build your risk tolerance. The word risk alone is frightening. It's the fear of the unknown if you decide to do something and it doesn't work. However, the word risk coupled with pivoting is exhilarating. Taking a risk doesn't necessarily mean that you have to sell your house, move across the world, or live in a van. Everyone's level of risk tolerance is different. What all successful pivoters have in common is that they take one. For some of us, it means going to night school to earn a degree. For others, it means saving up a year's salary to start a company. And there's a small group of people where it means they sell their houses, buy boats, and travel the world while working from the sea. The people who successfully pivot in their careers let their drive and determination to succeed overpower their fear. The risk of remaining in the same situation can be greater than the risk of pivoting. The initial decision to pivot does come with reservations. Those uneasy feelings are a natural instinct. The important thing is not to become overwhelmed or paralyzed by a lurking fear. Successful people do not let their fear drive their actions when they transition. Instead, they are taking a chance on themselves to pursue a better circumstance. Building risk tolerance starts with taking small, manageable steps. Identify a low risk, such as reaching out to someone you've always wanted to connect with on LinkedIn. Then, for 1 week, reach out to someone every day. For week 2, pick a slightly loftier goal to accomplish. You'll have laid a foundation and built your self-confidence within a month. Next, develop relationships. The common saying goes, you are only as strong as your network. Some people associate networking with just getting to know someone on a business level and only for the sole purpose of benefiting their career. Others view networking as the opportunity to develop and foster relationships to succeed. And it's more than just one-off situations and is viewed as a two-way relationship. Two-way relationship. Networking is more than attending an event and hoping that someone will reach out from hundreds of business cards handed out. Social capital, the quality of a person's network, is more prominent than if there'd been over a last decade. And in today's society, it's about developing relationships with people, continually fostering those connections through frequent coffee meetups, friendly emails, and extensions of invites to events and parties. Relationships are a two-way street. Some people go in with the WIFM, which is what's in it for me mindset, while others understand how developing meaningful relationships can help achieve the long game. It takes time to get to know someone and patience, but in the end, you'll have a greater return on your investment. Great networkers are always more curious about the other person than they are about sharing information about themselves. Intentionally practicing active listening allows you to hear the other person and ask questions that drive the conversation. In doing so, you find out that they are working on what they're working on, how you could add value to their projects, and if you could be open to collaboration. Remember, it's just a pivot. Anything is possible at this point. And this article is about Cheryl Robinson, and she's a working model, international speaker, author, and founder of Ready to Soar. And for the past 5 years, she's studied how individuals pivot in their careers. Additionally, she successfully defended her dissertation, making her a doctor of education in organizational leadership. So everybody, I want to wish you guys all a very happy and wonderful Friday, fantastic weekend, and an outstanding pivot. This is the career tip of the week, 3 key steps to successfully pivoting in your career. And it's dated February the 12th. Have a great weekend, everybody.
That's great information. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let's see here. Come on. Today for lunch, hopefully you'll come join us at lunch. Everybody has to eat lunch for those living in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Come join us. Mama's Pizza. It's on Parker, a half block west of Custer. They've got a pizza buffet. They've got pasta. They've got a really big salad bar. And everybody's favorite are the hot cinnamon rolls. Everybody keeps an eye for the new tray to come out, and we all run over and get them when the hot ones come out. So come join us today, 11:45, Mama's Pizza. great opportunity to meet everybody and, get to find out more about who people are. So, get out and make those personal connections. It really makes a big, big difference. Coming up in just a moment, we'll hear all about Crystal Knows. I just want to talk about upcoming sessions. Next Friday, all my speakers don't want to talk next Friday, so I'm still working on trying to line something up for next Friday. And then in 2 weeks for open forum, the first Friday of the month on March 3rd, that will be online only. We'll not have an in-person meeting. It'll be online only. So if you have questions about your job search, you'll be able to ask us. And I've got speakers lined up all for the month of March. So we've got a big, robust, full of great information coming up in March. All right, it's time for our main event. Many of you know Patty. I mean, I got to meet Patty about 2.5, 3 years ago when she was unemployed, and she found Career DFW and found our online workshops and was joining us. And then she got employed. She was employed for a couple years. She was laid off here a couple months ago, or announced she was going to be laid off. So she started jumping right back in. She knew what to do for a job search, came back in. Patty's in account management. This is stuff off of her off the LinkedIn profile, client services, global analytics, marketing research. So Patty, thank you for being with us. I love this program. You showed this to us a couple years ago. It's fascinating. This is almost like the beginning of AI, 2 years ago. Now we're all talking about AI because of all the chat boxes that are out there. But this really, to me, was AI 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. And I found it fascinating. I first learned about it through another job search group in the Chicago area. And so I found it to be quite interesting. I'm like, well, this is very interesting. I wonder how accurate that is. So what I did was I said, let me check it out. And of course, signed up for free, took the self-assessment, and I had 10 free profiles. I'm like, well, how accurate is it really? And then I actually used 2 of the profiles on people I knew when I should have just saved them for the interviewers. And they're just like, this is 95% spot on. This is my personality. This is how you would interact with me. So I said, wow, this is awesome. I'm going to use this for a job search. And that's the angle that I look at it. So I'm going to share my screen. I have a little bit of a PowerPoint presentation, a couple slides, and then I will go right into and demo everything for everybody. So 1 second while I get this going. All right, so first we'll start off 1 second with this.
Oop, we have the presenter view is what we're seeing.
You should be seeing full screen.
Now we're full screen.
There you go. All right. So as I had mentioned, I figured this out to be a great tool to use for your job search. And I said, you know what? I think more people should know about this. So I think it'll help you land faster. How many of you are familiar with the DISC system or personality system? There are many different types of personality tests out there, but this one is based on the DISC system. And so as you can see here, we've got the 4 main quadrants, and then that's broken out within 4 different personality types within. So with that, so how does it work, right? It's a personality AI tool. What it does is it can, it analyzes the information that you have on your LinkedIn profile. It does not scrape information off of the internet. It does not take it from other sources. It's what you have in your LinkedIn profile. And then it does use that information. So it's basically initially developed for companies to use it with their teams so that you get to work better together with your teammates. And so that's their angle on it, but I found the job search angle on it. So it does analyze millions of data points to assess somebody's personality, whether or not you've taken their assessment or not. And like I said, it can predict anyone's personality from LinkedIn profile, or I think even a resume. What I did find on their website yesterday is if you have some other tools that you use, it does also work on other programs. There is a Google Chrome widget that you can download, a Google Chrome extension. They have information on their website at crystalknows.com on how to do that. And that's the widget that I will be using today in LinkedIn so that you can see. When you sign up for free, you can take the self-assessment. You get 10 free LinkedIn profiles to view. And so with that, I would highly encourage you to use them with people you are interviewing with. After that it's about a $30 fee per month. But you can cancel that at any time. I currently pay the monthly fee, so I can look up as many people as I want with this. So with that, again, these are the 16 different personality types. I'm going to show Jeff Morris's profile first, and then I can pull up anybody else's profile if you'd like. And I think probably the best way to do that is to probably raise your hand in the with the emoticon, and then I can pull up your profile. But let me get out of this at this point, and then I will go over to this. All right. So can everyone see I've got Jeff Morris's profile here? Yes?
Yes, we can see it.
All right. What kind of personality do you think Jeff has? Jeff, which personality, if you fall in the D, the I, the S, the C, where do you think you fall?
Well, I've never taken that test, so I don't really know.
All right. Well, so here's the widget is all the way at the top. You'll see that since I'm on his profile, you see this view personality tab over to the right. And so I'm just gonna make sure I open this up. All right. So it has you as an editor. And so diligent, meticulous, collected, communicate in a thoughtful, even-keeled tone while focusing on details and processes. Says send additional data like case studies, one-pagers, other documentation, and so forth. Jeff, does this sound like you? Place a high value on products details?
Yes.
Okay. It says up here, it says don't skip important details about the product or buying process. Don't bypass or skip over any of his feedback, questions, and concerns. So what it does is it gives you a bit of an overview about Jeff. And as you scroll down, you'll see on the disc map, like where Jeff and I fit. Sorry, let me just hit here. So you see the 4 quadrants of dominant, influential, steady, and conscientious. I'm under analyst, so I'm a full C there. And Jeff is in the little quadrant right next to me. So we'll have a lot of things in common as far as similarities. As you go down looking at this, and again, I'm in this people icon, you will see there are different sales stages. If I had to sell to Jeff, how to prospect, get advice, you can get all that information here. And I'll show you some other tips in here. For expected behavior, Jeff, it says you like to read an instruction manual.
Definitely. I would definitely do the instruction manual. I'm disappointed now, like when I got my new cell phone, it didn't come with one. So I had to go.
And it says preferring to improve an existing document rather than writing a new one, and communicating an important concern primarily in writing. So what this does is it tells this is what you can expect out of him. And when you see this show more, it says Jeff tends to ask a lot of questions. So be prepared for a lengthy, in-depth conversation. Patiently answer each question logically and avoid rushing them through the discussion in any way. So this just gives you a little bit of feedback on Jeff. It tells how to email to him, use proper grammar and formatting, use descriptive, accurate language, avoid overly casual language. Jeff, does that sound like you?
Yeah, I'm gonna get to the point person.
Yeah, exactly. Meeting, discuss realistic solutions, examine the data before making decisions, give him time to process after the meeting. Does that sound like you as well?
I will not make a decision at the meeting, but I will within a couple days.
Yes.
I have to go home and
Energizers, structure, rules and processes, opportunities to demonstrate expertise.
Yep.
Stressors, this is what stresses Jeff out. frequent collaboration with others, attending crowded events, acting on gut instinct.
Definitely the middle one, attending.
Okay.
Definitely, yeah.
Some of these I know are a bit general, but in general, as you look at this, I'm an introvert, so I get my energy by being in my own space and not going out to a party and getting my energy with a lot of people. So you'll find some things in general that may or may not be exactly you, but I think on the most part, you'll find that this is pretty accurate. And then with speaking, be prepared to answer questions, remain stoic and objective, avoid sarcasm, then working together, verbally recognize his expertise, give him time to work on his own, and present the pros and cons of your ideas. So when you take a look at the comparisons, when you take the self-assessment, it'll ask you a variety of questions, and then it will basically peg you. Are you more risk tolerant or risk averse? Are you more trusting or skeptical? Are you more deliberate or fast-paced? Matter of fact or expressive? Autonomous or collaborative, and supporting versus dominant? And here it shows how I stack up against Jeff. And based on what we see here. And then at the bottom, you can rate this profile. But Jeff, I will ask you, do you think this is 80% accurate for you? Higher than that, lower than that? Where do you think you fall with your?
Mostly accurate, probably 80% or so. Yeah.
Okay.
It's me.
It's Jeff. All right, folks. This is a free tool for you to use. Something for you to keep in mind of how you can build that rapport with your interviewers and have an advantage over other interviewers or other interviewees with the same skill set as you. You want to build that rapport, make that connection, and you want to know how to interview with their personality. So if you're somebody who likes to talk a lot, but the other people are the get down to business type of people, you better be getting down to business in the interview, right? So
this totally comes from, it depends on how well their LinkedIn profile is complete, right? The better the LinkedIn profile, the better accurate
yes,
it should be.
if people don't have anything in it, it can't predict it. Like if you don't have if you have nothing in your profile, it's going to be like, what? I don't understand. Now, again, if you're somebody who's a totally different personality on Facebook, TikTok, anything else, I mean, I would say that interviewers want to hire the person that they're seeing that's on LinkedIn. So you need to be truthful, and this should be reflective of you. So that's my perspective on it. So with that, the one thing that you'll want to do when you get in here is you can view the full profile, and that's where you can save it. So if you clicked on this view full profile, it'll tell you how to negotiate with Jeff and everything else. So what I will show you here really quickly is under this quick tips, you will see this little light bulb. It says, I need to call Jeff or email Jeff. Here, it gives you a variety of scenarios. Make a sales pitch, negotiate. This is important if you need to negotiate with the hiring manager, persuade to take action, so forth and so on. And here is the gold, convince them to hire you. What do I need to say to Jeff to convince him to hire me? Focus on my ability to produce high quality results, use a calm, collected tone, offer to answer questions he has in writing, express my respect for his past accomplishments. These are the things I need to do with his kind of a personality. These are things I shouldn't do. Don't leave any of his questions unanswered. Don't work outside of his established hiring process, and don't spend time connecting emotionally. But maybe, Jeff, after I get to know you. But here you go. So this is, as I was looking through this, when I was first looking at this, I'm like, wow, convince them to hire you. This is awesome. Wow, negotiate. Wow, I can use this and how I need to negotiate with Jeff. If I want more money, more vacation time, more anything, this is how I how I need to negotiate with Jeff, right? So you can see how this can be very useful in your job search tool, right? Discuss pricing, gather information, set expectations, make a good impression. I use this all the time when I first meet with people. How do I make a good impression on them? Click on make a good impression. These are things you should do. These are things you shouldn't do. Okay. And this is what I would do to adapt my communication style to Jeff's. Hopefully that makes sense. Jeff, what do you think? Kind of cool?
Yes, this is great.
Under here, if you're in sales, it's got other things in here about sales, how to get Jeff to book a meeting, et cetera, et cetera. And under the playbooks, again, specific templates that you can choose as you go down through here. Discovery, doing a demo, how to close Jeff. Hey, you guys should look at this for how to close the hiring manager, right? How to negotiate with the hiring manager, et cetera, how to build rapport. And then if you don't know how to write to this kind of person, it gives you email advice. Explain why you're emailing. Don't use emojis. It just gives you some different tips on this. So what I really like about this though, again, is the going to the profile and then going here and looking at convince them to hire you. Okay. So these are going to be some really good things for you, as well as negotiating. If you're negotiating your contract and agreements. So with that, Jeff, any other questions for me?
Well, a question I have is that, so you kept, I mean, the last 2 years when you were employed, you kept using this program. Tell us how you use this program on a day-to-day.
Yeah. So what I did is, as I was in a new company and as I was meeting people, you want to make sure you ramp up very quickly at a company and get along and understand how the personalities that you're going to be work with, how they work. And so with that, I was able to use that. How do I make a good impression? How do I work well with these other people? And so that's how I use the tool as well. So that is, again, Crystal Knows' original intent of building this Crystal Knows, is so that teams can work better together, people can work better together because you know the other person's personality or a little bit about their personality. And then as you get to know and work them, obviously, you get to build more rapport with them. But this is a really great tool for you to hit the ground running at any company and build that rapport with new people.
And I do want to say Patty doesn't get paid to promote this. She's not getting paid by Crystal Knows. She gets no rebate. She gets nothing.
I should ask.
Should ask, yes, but I mean, she doesn't own stock in the company. It's strictly here's the tool she found as a job seeker and found it to be very beneficial just every day, just using it all the time if you're in sales or having to reach out to other people.
Absolutely. Even with people that I was negotiating contracts with for my clients, where they were, being really tough with me. I'm like, how do I negotiate with this person? Then I would print out how to negotiate with them and figure out the best way to get to a solution quickly. So I found this tool to be very useful. As long as you can access it and sign up, take the self-assessment, take it for free and use the 10 free profiles, it can't hurt for you to try it at the very minimum. And it's another skill or tool in your toolkit that you can use in your job search toolkit. And why not? You want to have an advantage over somebody else who's interviewing for the same position.
Yeah. So don't waste this on just looking up people. Wait till you interview and, use that free one unless you want to pay for it for a couple months. Priya asked, how would you use this tool for a panel interview?
I pulled it. I had a panel interview last Friday, right? I pulled it on each person. So I knew their personality. And so that's how I was able to interview for them.
And if each one was a little bit different, so you just knew that when you were talking to that person, here's how I need to talk to that particular person.
Exactly. In my case, they actually both were the same personality. So that was quite easy, but that's not always the case. But you have to be confident when you go in, right? And the one way to be confident is definitely to know how to speak to that panelist and that interviewer. And I was lucky in my case, again, they had the same personality, but definitely I use them in all of my interviews. And it's so much helpful. And I use them if I had to talk to the HR person first, I used it on the HR person, because you need the HR person sometimes to butter them up to get them to the, to the hiring manager. So it's important to use it strategically. And with this, you'll see that I have it currently open. So say you go look for somebody else and you're like, oh, I didn't mean to have this thing open. It's going to count. You need to close the sidebar. You need to close the sidebar after you're done looking at the person, or it will automatically then, pull up that other person's profile. And like I said, I used two of mine on people that I knew, and they just confirmed this thing is like 95% accurate. This is incredible. I had enough proof from that, and so I just went with it. So
All right.
so with that, are there other questions, and or I can start pulling profiles?
Yeah, Ben, do you want us to look at your profile, or you have a question?
No, I want to go ahead and see what my profile says, Jeff.
Before we get to yours, just a second, there was another one that, let's see here, who put this in here? Oh, Geneva put in here. Can you look up Al Perry with Greenhouse Management Association? So she has an interview today at 2:00 with them.
Sure.
She'd like to know who he is.
All right. So let me see if I can look him up here. Al P A-R-R-Y.
ERRY. And if you do a just capital A-N-D, we'll do a Boolean search here. So do
Yeah.
now do greenhouse. Just type in greenhouse.
Hold on.
All right, see what we get now. There we go.
Is this the guy?
That's him.
All right.
So I guess the question becomes now, because Patty, you filled out your profile here.
It's going to look at me versus him, but at the end, it doesn't matter. Right now, the information that it's showing, he's an architect, so he's under the dominant part, right? So it says place a high time on being valued, small talk, whatever. This is still about him, right? On here, it just shows me compared to him. When you take it, it'll show you compared to him. And you have this widget that you're using, right? How to do it, high expectations of quality, negotiating for a better price, maximizing efficiency in everyday life, et cetera, et cetera. Now, if you want to see how to convince him to hire you, not just me, to you, Geneva, use a serious, intense tone, express your desire to take on challenges, offer to provide examples of your work, focus on your ability to work efficiently. That's what this guy is all about. He's under the dominant strain, right? That's where you'll find also a lot of salespeople. You'll find a lot of salespeople in that area.
What's the do not? So do not be overly
open before building trust. So get down to business with this guy. Don't use unclear language or buzzwords. So don't say, I'm going to use this AI with this, whatever. And I'll be like, well, wait a minute. AI could mean something different to him. Don't hesitate to talk about money. Don't appear overly friendly or casual. This guy you want to get down to business with, right? So with that, then, I can view his full profile, and then it will show me everything, how to negotiate with him, all that business. And then once I see that, once it populates here, then I'm able to save it. I know, how to do it. And again, it's comparing me versus him. But at the end of the day, once you take it, can you see my screen? Does it show everything?
Yes.
Okay. It talks about how to work with him, everything, right? All the other things that you saw on the profile, his strengths, his blind spots, how to make a great first impression with him, how to build trust with him, etc. Right? But he's down to business. Use words like done and absolutely. Stay focused on one point. Keep it succinct. He wants to get down to business. So that's how you need to be with him in the interview. Hopefully that helps.
Talk with them, or this is the first time? And you want to use the mic so we can hear you?
Yes, I spoke with him yesterday for the first time. It was actually a connection through networking, and we spoke for about 45 minutes. And he he was the one that did most of the talking. I'll say that. He sounds, I don't know how to say this, a little pompous, maybe. He's very much talks about himself a lot. So this is very interesting to get this information going into this interview. The interview is actually at a home office with their family business. So it's like in a penthouse condo, and it's kind of it's going to be interesting. So yes, I'm definitely going to pull his information. So thank you.
All
For
right.
sure. I mean, I can also send this to you if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn. Then you have it. But I'm just letting you know, this guy, project confidence and power with him. When negotiating, be prepared to walk away. I mean, let him think about a few things, right? But again, he's very much a driver. He's a driver personality, dominant personality.
He sounds
Uh,
like, yes, that's pretty accurate from what I heard yesterday.
I would say so. So anyway, he's an architect. Again, he falls under the D or dominant area of the wheel.
And I was, this is Cynthia. I was just going to say, don't forget, he is highly creative and very technically creative, very exacting because he's an architect. So that's probably some of that personality you're seeing coming through.
Makes sense. Yes.
All right.
Mhm.
Very interesting, right?
Yes, very.
I think this is probably pretty accurate on his profile. Right.
All right, our next contestant.
The next contestant is Ben.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Okay, Ben.
Hey, Jeff, by the way, sorry I didn't make it in person. I have an appointment today, so I couldn't come in today.
You're gonna miss some good, you're gonna miss a good lunch.
I know, that's the one thing I'm really gonna miss with Mama's Pizza, but I'm sure you and Walt can take care of it.
Take it, we'll each have an extra piece just for you.
I'm sure.
All right, so it's predicting your personality. Ben, you're also an architect.
Oh, great.
You don't sound so thrilled. Do you think this is not accurate?
No, I think I do. It is.
Okay, well, there you go, guys. You're committed, you're competitive, you're direct, communicate with fast-paced, goal-oriented, and high-efficient energy. You place a high value on being time efficient rather than filling it up with small talk. Be upfront and blunt about potential issues. And it says, don't take a schedule lightly, respect the call's length and end on schedule. Don't bounce around between many conversation pieces, stay focused, right? So he's under the dominant portion of the disc map again, right? Expected behavior, telling others how they can improve performance, negotiating it for a better price, speaking very directly or bluntly. Does this sound like you?
Yes.
Okay. He says
Is it
this
blunt enough for you?
hesitating. Emailing, express yourself with confidence and certainty, avoid unnecessary small talk, avoid dragging it out. Right?
Wow. Yeah.
Is that right?
Oh, nailed it. Yeah.
Okay. Meetings, skip over pleasantries and get into business. Communicate in a direct, assertive way, be on time to the meeting. Does that sound like you?
Oh, yeah.
Energizers, producing results, achieving goals, leading the group. That sound like you too?
Yep.
Stressors, missing deadlines, opening up emotionally, people blindly supporting others.
Yeah. Wow.
Speaking,
That's
stay
scary.
focused on one point, ask him about his ambitions and be direct when you disagree. He's laughing. I think he's agreeing.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Working together, stand up for yourself and your ideas, be prepared to work quickly, produce measurable results. Right? So that's what I need to do to work with you. And again, this is how I fall in comparison to you. So on a scale of 80%, 85%, 90%, 95%, 100%, where do you think you fall?
I'd probably say between 90 and 95%.
There you go, folks. I would say this is a great tool to use, honestly.
I need to find out how he got to be on, make sure people are on time. That didn't show up on mine. And that, I have to modify my LinkedIn profile.
You might have to do that, Jeff. All right,
Couple more
Um,
candidates here. Bill Allen.
Bill Allen. All right. So do I need to do a Boolean? Let me see. I think I just connected with you. So
We get here, Bill.
that should be this one. Yes.
Is that you, Bill?
That is me.
Hey,
Bill,
let's
what do you think you are? You're probably under dominant. That's my
Probably,
guess.
probably dominant, or if there's a rebel or a non-conformist, something like that, probably.
Wow, you're a captain. You're under the D. I was right.
Get out of my
Decisive,
way.
assertive, fast paced. Does this sound like you?
Exactly.
Be straightforward with a focus on the business at hand and driving results.
You
Does that
got
sound
it.
like you? Highlight competitive advantages of your product. Use an energetic, assertive tone.
Yep.
Okay. Don't
Nailed it.
sugarcoat or use vague, overly optimistic language to describe the value of your product.
Mhm.
And don't be overly friendly, be assertive and push back when you need to. So this is where he falls on the disc map. So he's clearly at the D under dominant. And again, he's a captain. Let's see, expected behavior, setting ambitious goals for others, getting
Mm.
angsty if a conversation lasts too long, and working independently to meet a deadline.
Especially that second one. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Okay, emailing, write 3 sentences or less. Be straightforward and direct, avoid being overly detailed.
Yep.
Meeting, stay on topic, keep it as short as possible, show decisiveness and confidence. All right, energizers, professional growth, challenges, competition and winning.
Oh yeah.
All
Very-
right, stressors, following inflexible rules, slow pace of work, tangents unrelated to the main conversation. He's laughing. I think he's agreeing.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, assert yourself with confidence, get right to the bottom line, expect conversation to move quickly. Yes,
Yes.
working together, expect them to adapt quickly to change, get used to a fast
Always.
work pace, expect some healthy competition.
Yep.
All right, and this is how you and I compare on the comparisons. Okay, percentage wise, how accurate do you think this is of you?
About 98%.
98. All right, there you go.
Yeah, I'm definitely a captain. I don't mess around. I see through crap. Just yeah, let's just go get it done. I've had a variety of jobs in sales and I've excelled in every one of them. So, don't sugarcoat, don't mess around, and let's go make some money. Let's go get the
All
job
right.
done.
I figured most salespeople fall under that D portion of the disc, right? So just to let you know, for everybody, if we don't have time and we run out and you want me to do your profile and send it to you before you even take the free self-assessment yourself, I can go ahead and send that to you. Make sure you connect with me on LinkedIn. So what I'll do is I'll do like view full profile, save it and send it to you. And just Bill, out of curiosity, because I like to see it, if I needed
Sure.
to call you to convince them to hire me,
Sure.
offer to provide examples of my work,
Yep.
project boldness and self-confidence, use a serious, intense tone, focus on my ability to work quickly. Does that
You
sound
got
right?
it. Yeah, on the first one right there, I've got a flexible PowerPoint presentation that I've had put together for years. I called it my brag book back in the paper days, and I moved it electronically about 5 years ago. So it's got stuff that's not even on my resume
Wow.
from jobs that aren't even on my resume. So yeah.
Great. All right. So that's how I would have to flex an interview with Bill. If Bill were my interviewer, I'd get
Great.
right to business.
That's right.
Let me jump in here for just a second. Bill, I
Yes.
want to throw a little red flag up. You may want to be careful putting your email address and your phone number in
Okay.
title space. You want to make sure it's in your about section. I've heard of some people, LinkedIn, blocking you or knocking you out because you've done that. They they would prefer you not to put that information there. As long
You
as,
Okay.
can put it in this section here.
as long as in your about section, you're great, or if you want to put it in your banner, like I've got it in my banner, that's,
Yeah.
but I've heard of some people that they've been, they get the email that you've now been blocked for the next 30 days and
Oh, lovely.
wouldn't want that to happen to you. So,
Good catch, Jeff. So Bill,
Thank you,
that's what
Jeff.
to do for you.
Got it.
All right.
our next Steve's got a good question. Oh, Steve T, please put your contact information in the chat window because I know you've been with us the last few weeks, but I don't know who you are. So we can't connect with you on our roster and be able to send you emails. So I appreciate you joining us today. So Steve asked, how or can you use this to present your strengths to a potential employer on your LinkedIn profile? So is there information from here, from this program that you could then put back into LinkedIn?
I think that's a good question. I mean, what this program does, it takes the information from LinkedIn so that it assesses your personality. If you say, you know what, this isn't exactly like me or how I want to come off, then that's where you need to somehow modify your LinkedIn profile then. Other times I've had where some people said, you know what, this really doesn't sound like me. Then I ask them the question, did somebody help you with your LinkedIn profile? And then they say, yeah. And I say, okay, well, then their personality is coming through and not yours. And you really want to be your personality coming through. So I don't know, maybe you can take some elements from it and then you can say, I'm a doer, I'm this and that, if that's what you want to get across and put it in your about section. That type of thing that you could take from here. But I would think that hopefully throughout your LinkedIn profile, it kind of shows that already with your accomplishments and things that you have. But definitely, yeah, I mean, I think you can take some words out of here and paraphrase it and put it in your about section and to make you more appealing to recruiters and such hiring managers.
So, I mean, you take the DISC assessment that they give you or the assessment, it then tells you, if you scroll down to where the
Comparisons are.
and it tells you, are you more risk adverse? Or, it sort of tells you, you're more optimistic. You can maybe use some of those, you see there that Patty is fast paced. I mean, that's one of the things, you could use a couple of those words to describe who you are in your about section.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Our next contestant is Bill. Oh yeah. Bill Balin. Oh,
We already did Bill.
Already got me. Yeah.
I'm seeing Bill Balin because your middle initial.
Right. Yeah. That's how. Yeah. Move on. I think looks like maybe Cynthia or somebody. I don't know.
All right. So Praya's
looking up somebody.
look up
Thanks.
somebody else for her. The guy's name is HAGOP. Last name KOZAN.
Yeah, I have the link there as well, if that's helpful.
Is it
Yeah,
this top guy?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. What do you think his profile is? He's probably under a D. I'm gonna assume.
100%, very hard to talk to and influence to hire.
Wow, he's a captain too, just like Bill.
Well, we got to find some other people here. But I will take a look at them for Praya.
But again, fast-paced, decisive, direct, etc. I mean, you want to get down to business with this guy, right? And if you want to know, I'll just go here to convince them to hire you, because that's what you want to try to do. Again, offer to provide examples of your work, use that serious, intense tone, be very confident when you go in there and talk, project that boldness and self-confidence, express your desire to take on challenges. That's how you want to be with this guy. He's definitely direct. Don't spill your whole life story to him. Don't be overly open before building trust. You need to show that you can do the job, that you're excited about it, and that you want to get down to business. That's how you need to be with this guy. Let's see. Expected behavior, working independently to meet a deadline, enjoying argument and debate, setting ambitious goals for others. So expect that he would set ambitious goals for you, right? You need to be straightforward and direct, write 3 sentences or less, avoid dragging it out, etc. show decisiveness and confidence, stay on topic, be on time, right? So hopefully this makes sense to you. Yeah. All right. Do
Probably
you have another contestant?
uh, we have another contestant. Let's see here. Cynthia Furnell. Cynthia. Yep.
All right. Cynthia, you need to tell us like what you think your personality is going to be.
Oh, gosh. Well, I know with my Clifton Strengths finder, my number one thing is learner. Oh my gosh, I'm a captain.
It
Holy
says you're a
smokes.
captain as well.
That is interesting because I mean, I see captains as people who are very strong in sales, but I mean, you know, my job obviously is intangible sales, but
Yeah.
on my strength finder thing, that came in 6th. I thought it would be the top 5 and it was not, which is interesting. Okay,
It's
keep going.
very
I'm intrigued.
So again, you're going to see the same things like you're assertive, independent, decisive, you know, communicate with a fast-paced goal.
Well, that is so
goal-oriented,
me.
direct. Is that you? Yeah.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, yeah.
Okay. Well, then here you go. Folks, you should be
I did
using
not see
this
that
for
I
your
would be dominant.
interviewers.
Well,
Highlight competitive advantages, et cetera, et cetera. Your expected behavior, feeling anxious about someone else making decisions on her behalf.
mm-hmm.
Speaking up to get everyone back on topic in a meeting.
Oh, that's me.
Getting angsty if a conversation lasts too long.
Yeah. Want to get it done and get through and be productive.
There you go. Write 3 sentences or less. Avoid being overly detailed and be concise and to the point. All right. That's how I would need to be to email to you. And with a meeting, keep it as short as possible. Quickly address the purpose of the meeting and stay on topic. Does that sound like you too?
Yeah, the energizers definitely. I love challenges.
Yeah, there you go. Stressors, slow pace of work, keeping her
Mhm.
opinion to herself, following inflexible rules.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking, get right to the bottom line. Don't be afraid to disagree. Assert yourself with confidence. And then when working together, get used to a fast pace of work. Give her a chance to take charge. Expect her to adapt quickly to change. This is how you and I fall on the comparison. But it really doesn't matter what happens for me, at least. But either way, once you take the assessment and you look up people, you will see how close you are or how far you are on the comparisons. But then you need to know how to adapt to that person's style. How accurate do you think this profile is on a percentage basis?
I would say that it's probably 95%. I'm a pretty optimistic person. I'm surprised that it came in at the halfway point. But yeah, I mean, I'm really impressed.
All right. So with that, Cynthia, I can send you your profile to you later if you'd like.
Oh, that'd
Also,
be
when you
great.
go
Yeah.
to Crystal Knows, you can go on and take the self-assessment yourself. If it comes out a little bit different than what it's currently pulling off of there, Crystal Knows will update to what your test results were.
Well, thank you. And I was going to say, you know, somebody said, how can you use this to improve your LinkedIn? You know, one of the things that I did when I went through Clifton Strength Finders is that it gives a real descriptive of each one thing that you test out as, or they come up with. And I would think in the disc, there's going to be a narrative as to what is a true dominant and those, you know, characteristics of that dominant. And I used mine that way to develop narrative that then showed who I am as a person with those key strengths.
Mm-hmm.
So that you might be able to use both, or even just if you don't want to go to Clifton Strength Finders, go to whatever disc has as a detailed information about your different map.
Correct. Yep. All right.
Thank you for
Thanks
your help.
for your input.
Cynthia,
Yeah.
you currently working or are you looking for a job?
No, I'm looking, my little pre-IPO company had to have a restructure.
All right, because I look at your LinkedIn profile and I would not know you're looking for a job. So I just, you know.
Oh, I need to put the open for work thing there. I had that badge on there. I guess I took it off.
Well, and the other thing is you've got hashtag talent sourcing hashtag. I don't know if hashtags are a good idea to be using there. You want to put
Okay.
for job titles of what you want to be found as, because talent sourcing isn't, I would,
Gotcha.
I think you want to mention who you want to be or what you want to be found as. So,
Oh, I was thinking that was more for the, like, when you do the content development, that's what it was for. But I guess that does make sense to do it for those titles that you would be looking to acquire.
it would be, yeah, you want more than just senior recruiting partner. You want to, you've got 220 characters there. Tell somebody, what kind of, because from a search engine standpoint, that's like the primary place a recruiter's going to type in, I'm looking for a senior recruiting partner or senior recruiting manager or senior recruiting person. That's the primary search box that LinkedIn's going to look for.
Perfect. Okay, thank you for that tip.
You're welcome. Let's see here. We have another contestant. Let's see here. Geneva would like us to look her up.
Geneva. Okay.
So we know, she says she knows she's not a captain, so.
Okay. Geneva, what's the last name?
Silva.
So is that this one?
Yes.
All right. Hold on one second. I've got to view your profile. So you're not a captain.
Correct.
You're an editor. You're like Jeff Morris. So you're under the conscientious. You're organized, meticulous, reliable. Does
Yes.
it sound like you?
Yes, definitely.
Communicate in an organized, pragmatic, and solution-oriented manner. You place a high value on the product's details, even if it takes longer than expected. Send
Definitely.
additional data like case studies, one-pagers, and other documentation, etc. Let me scroll down here in the interest of time. So you and I are very close on the wheel. Expected behavior, paying close attention to all the details, preferring to improve an existing document rather than write a new one, and approaching problems cautiously and methodically. Does that sound like you?
Pretty close.
Be prepared to answer questions, use descriptive, accurate language, and keep the conversation fact-focused for emailing. Yeah. In a meeting, ask for her opinion, examine the data before making decisions, and take time to work out an agenda. So this is what I would need to do. I would need to ask you for your opinion, etc. Energizers. Your energizers are asking questions, rules and processes, and taking her time. Does that sound like you?
Accurate. Yes.
Stressors, asserting authority over a group of people, attending crowded events, and sudden change in plans.
Totally. That's very 100% accurate.
And then speaking, encourage her to share her thoughts, remain stoic and objective, ask her to explain something in detail. So that's what I need to do with you when I'm talking with you. Working together, introduce clear guidelines and rules, give her time to work on her own, and verbally recognize her expertise. And then this is where we stand on the comparisons. So on a percentage basis, how accurate do you think this is?
I would say probably 95%. Pretty close. Yeah.
There you go. Is everyone's mind blown yet? I don't know. I can't see reactions. Maybe you can put it in the chat.
Thank you for looking that up.
Sure.
All right, we've got another contestant here, Sue Dabrowski.
Is it as Sue?
Yeah, all right, last name D-A-B.
Is that this one?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so let me view full profile. All right, so what do you think yours is going to be, Sue?
I'm going to come in as an editor as well.
You came on as a captain. OMG.
I had captain first, and when I listened to what you just read, I was like, yeah, that's me too. But I originally wrote captain. That's
Well,
funny.
there you go. Well, let's see. Are you fast-paced, decisive, and direct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you focus on driving efficiency, achieving goals, and developing processes?
Yes.
All right. So this sounds like you. You like to, let me scroll down here so you can see. There you are on the disc map.
Yep.
You enjoy argument and debate. You work independently to meet a deadline and getting frustrated if someone's late to a meeting.
Yes.
Okay. Emailing, be straightforward and direct. Avoid dragging it out. Write 3 sentences or less.
Yes. And I've coached people to say, write emails this way. Okay. If I want the detail, put it in the bottom. I'm going to read the top.
Exactly. In meeting with you, show decisiveness and confidence, stay on topic, be on time to the meeting.
Yep.
All right, energizers, competition and winning, professional growth, and leading the group.
Yes.
And
Wow, this is amazing.
stressors, tangents unrelated to the main conversation, following inflexible rules and people blindly supporting others. Speaking, expect conversation to move quickly, assert yourself with confidence, and be direct when you disagree. So that's how I need to be when I
Show
talk
up.
with you.
Mhm.
Working together, expect some healthy competition. You're a competitor.
Yep.
Expect her to adapt quickly to change and produce measurable results.
Yes. Yes.
This is how we are. So percentage wise, where are we?
I'm gonna say like 98.
Wow,
Yeah.
folks, are you guys listening to this? 98%. This is how this can help you with your job search. You want to
Amazing.
definitely build that rapport, know that interviewer's personality before you go in and have that job interview. Okay. All right.
We need to find somebody who's not a captain though. Or everybody's falling in two categories.
Not everybody, but you know,
Well,
we're diligent, we're process oriented, or we're into the results, right? It's very interesting. You know, Foster Williams, he's under the eye. He's like under the influencer.
yeah, call up Foster. Let's take a look so we can see some.
I could pull up Foster's. You could take a look at his if you want somebody different. Did somebody else want to have their profile pulled up?
How about Steve Thompson?
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to do a Boolean probably. There's a lot of Steve Thompsons.
Steve Thompson, give us a little more hint of which one could be you.
Holy Toledo. Which one?
I don't see it.
Yeah, right.
How about do a A&D and then tell us like name of a company you used to work for or something would be in your profile.
Okay.
Or what city are you in?
In Kansas City or Overland Park.
You're in Overland Park?
Yes.
If that's on your profile, yeah. Let's see here.
Wow, it's not coming up with you. Okay, I need your LinkedIn profile. Like you need to send it in the chat or something. Because I can't, it's not finding Overland Park unless I do Kansas City. There's a few. I don't know which one you are. Are you a Steven, a Steve, a Steven with a PH?
Nope. Steve.
Oh, interesting. All right. Maybe you can send me your profile or you need to put it in the chat. I need to have the LinkedIn in the chat. It's hard to find you right now. Too many people named Steve Thompson.
All right, there's let's see here. Diego has put in his thing here. Let's see here. Diego. Last name Quinones.
Quinones, is this you?
Yes.
All right. One second. It's predicting your personality. All right. You're a questioner. Persistent, focused, candid. Focus on efficiency and logic with a factual and objective tone. Be upfront and blunt about potential issues. Use a serious business-like tone as opposed to a casual tone. That's how I need to be with you. This is where you fall on the disc map. So you're right on the cusp of conscientious and dominant. Expected behavior, questioning inefficient practices, verbally challenging a bold claim about a product, and highly valuing accuracy. Does this sound like you?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Emailing. I need to avoid open-ended questions in favor of yes or no questions. I need to be clear and concise. I need to support claims with clear evidence. Right? Meeting. Set a clear end time. Prove that you did your research. Address necessary details. Does that sound right?
Yeah, pretty much. I always ask for an agenda before the meeting.
There you go. Energizers. You like your personal space, independence, and providing feedback?
Oh,
Your
yeah.
stressors, inefficiencies and waste, waiting for extended periods of time, indecision from others.
Yeah.
He's laughing. He's agreeing. Speaking, get right to the issue at hand, keep it succinct, avoid bringing up unrelated information. Does that sound like you?
Yeah, this is pretty interesting. Yeah.
People are saying interesting, like, OMG, how did it figure me out? Working together. Know that he prefers working alone. Stay focused on the task at hand. Listen to his suggestions for improving efficiency. Right? And then this is how you and I compare on the comparisons. Percentage wise, where do we hit? 80%, 85%,
I mean, yeah,
90%?
just based on what I see, at least 85%.
All right, there you go. Do we need more evidence of why you should use this in your job search on your interviewers?
Oh no, it's totally worth it.
Probably not, right? You guys should go sign up for free. Use your 10 free LinkedIn profiles on your interviewers. Do it today. It can only help you. It can only help you.
All right, I sent you in the chat, Steve's LinkedIn profile, if you want to look him up, and we'll make him the last person we look at today.
Oh, okay. Sorry if I kind of went long. Let's see.
Oh, no. This is good. I mean, if people want to hang out, we're good for another 15 minutes or so, but
All right. Good. All right, Steve, we're gonna pull you up here. Here we go. Sorry we didn't find you earlier, but definitely having the LinkedIn will help. Do you know what you think that you're gonna be?
Well, I'm pretty decisive, so.
You're a skeptic.
Oh, skeptic.
So strong-willed, straightforward, skeptical, communicate with an accurate, straightforward, and results-oriented focus. Bring up potential issues up front rather than dancing around them. Use specific, blunt language as he learns best through direct communication. Does this sound like you?
Yes, it does.
Don't prioritize small talk. Don't focus on information specific to the topic or product. Don't gloss over logistical issues or potential objections. And so this is where you and I fall. So you're under conscientious like me. Expected behavior, seeking evidence to support claims, absorbing information more quickly than others, separating facts from emotions when making decisions. Does that sound like you?
Yes, it does.
Okay, emailing, clearly state the reason for the email right away. Be firm in your statements, give plenty of evidence to support any claims. And meeting, bring documentation to support your points, use facts and figures to maintain accuracy, and don't discuss personal stories. You like to get down to business.
Yeah, I like to get right to the point.
Exactly. Energizers, you like privacy, you like detailed evidence, and you like creating procedures.
Well, that's right on.
Stressors, when others do not follow through on promises, chaotic situations, crowded, busy events. And then speaking, set clear expectations for the conversation, share your qualifications or expertise, or back up your thoughts with data. So that's what I need to do when I speak with you. And then working together, do your research before asking questions, maintain high standards for your work, and give them space to work independently. Does this sound like you?
Yes, it does.
And this is where you fall on the comparisons with me.
This is much better than my mind reading skills.
And that's why you should use it with interviewers.
Yeah, well,
right?
this is helpful because, you know, when you interview with someone, my assumption was their personality is going to be similar to mine. So why wouldn't they want to hear what I have to say in the way I say it? This is much better to see. Here's their strength, or this is how they want to be communicated with, meet their style.
Yeah.
At least this gives you a advance notice of what to expect.
Exactly. And so if I were interviewing with you, this is what I would need to do to convince you to hire me. Point out problems that I could help solve, project certainty and competence, focus on my ability to work efficiently, and offer to answer questions that you have in writing. That's what I would need to do for someone like you, right?
Yes.
And this is what I shouldn't do. So with that, Jeff.
Yes.
I can turn it back over to you if you would like. And then again, If you haven't already, connect with me. I'll put my LinkedIn information in the chat again. And Jeff, if you're looking for another speaker for next Friday and you want an encore, I can do it because it's before I start. If you want, if others want to show up, it's up to you. I will stop sharing and go from there.
Steve, this is Walt. I want to know if that's Rocky Road in your picture. What is that?
Oh, what his picture was?
That was actually a high-speed photograph of a glass of coffee being shot at with my son's artistic expression. So he had high-speed camera going, shot a pellet, broke the glass, and took a picture. At the instant the glass broke. So I put that on my page.
Geneva had it right down to the last tack, boy. She was right on.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you, Patty. Great information. I think, this is a great tool that, it's just truly amazing what it will do. And you think about, we're just talking now about AI. And like I said at the beginning, this has been out for 3+ years. And if nothing else, here's a great way to take your free disc assessment, because I haven't found a free way to take the disc, but if you'd like to do it, here's a free way to take it. At least you know who you are and how you can tie some of those words into your conversation. If you've not put your 30-second reductions into the Zoom chat window, please do so we can try to connect with everybody who's on the call. I'll put everybody's information into the email that I put out this afternoon to everybody. So, maybe you can try to connect with somebody. You can try to help somebody else who's out there. And that would be great. All right, let's see here. Next, Career at FW, Career USA, we're putting on training 4 days a week. Please join us, please, please, please. Next Tuesday, Ruth Lipsky will be with us for LinkedIn Tuesday. We do LinkedIn every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. How to drive recruiters to your LinkedIn profile. Ruth works for Lee Heck Harrison. She works with job seekers on a daily basis. So she's advising and trying to help job seekers every day have their profile to be found by recruiters. Next Wednesday, we're going to start up our 13-part workshop. So next Wednesday, we'll be doing session number 1, preparing to be interviewed and how employment recruiters work. So join us next Wednesday for that. Next Thursday, being the 4th Thursday of the month, we're going to talk about how serving turns into networking opportunities. Pretty much when you volunteer, how you help other people, how it turns into opportunities, and that'll be with Heidi Torres. This session has been recorded. It will be on the Career USA YouTube channel. On the Career USA YouTube channel, be sure to click on playlist. And when you do that, at the very bottom, pick whichever playlist you want. If you pick something from the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group, when you click on View Full Playlist, up will come all the different dates and titles and topics. You can find whichever one you want. Just remember that any of them from the North Dallas group, you do need to scroll in about 25 to 30 minutes into the video so you can start to see the speaker. Hopefully some of you will come join us today at Mama's Pizza, 2130 West Parker Road. It's on Parker, about a half block west from Custard. A great pizza buffet, pasta, salad bar, yummy hot cinnamon rolls. Come join us today at 11:45. So thank you very much for joining us today, everybody. Have a great weekend. Thanks for everybody in the call. Patty, once again, thank you very much. Congratulations on your new job. And we look forward to hopefully seeing everybody next week. Have a good weekend.